He got screwed in Indy. That's what I kept saying. He was supposed to be McDaniel's offensive coordinator, and he backed out and he got left without a job. There was nothing open.
Ticket text 97136. This team will be picking in the top 10 in the draft. I don't see how they win 3 more games. Oakland is easily a better team with a much better coach. That's from Kyle. I don't agree with that. Maybe a much better coach 20 years ago.
I don't think they'll be picking.
Yeah. I don't either.
A lot of crap. The Lions are not good, that's per se. They're average, but there's a lot of really bad teams.
Look, the Lions are 3-3-1. They are 2-point underdogs going to Oakland this week. And then they go to Chicago, and then they're home for Dallas. Okay? They could, I won't say easily, but I think there's a possibility they could be 5-3-1 coming back here for Dallas. Win the next 2 games. You know, I mean, I don't necessarily say I would bet on it. I think it's, you know, I don't look at the Bears and the Raiders and go, oh, those teams are much better. I mean, I was thinking, as I was driving down to the game yesterday, and I was, you know, driving by the tailgaters, getting ready to go, and everybody, I thought to myself, you know, the one thing you can say about the Lions that I will give them credit for this year, and I know this isn't necessarily what Patricia's going for, they have been a terribly entertaining game.
Absolutely.
I mean, think of all the Sundays that just destroy your soul. Where you're sitting there on your couch, and it's like the second half, and you're like, do I really have to keep watching this crap? That has not been the case on one Sunday this year.
No, even last week, it was a 5-point game.
Entertaining game. They've been in every game they've played. Unfortunately, they had the lead in every game they've played except for one. They've only come away with 3 wins, so that's a bit of a disappointment. But the offense has, whenever the other team has given the offense something, normally the offense has had an answer. You know, they've answered back, they've answered the call. If they could do away with the defensive holding penalties, I mean, the number of times that you think they're getting off the field and then late. I mean, there was one yesterday where I don't even think they put up the icon for flag. You know how they put that up? I think it was either one against. I think it was Ford who got it called for defensive holding. Yeah, then he got called, I think, on the very next play. But it's like that is such a, of all the penalties, and I know we're going to have illegal hands to the face running through our heads for the rest of time based on the Packer game. Man, defensive holding just blows.
That shot clock really hurt them too. There was another penalty that wiped away something important. They only had 7 penalties, which isn't a ton, but they always seem to be costly.
3rd down penalties.
Yes, exactly.
The problem with the Lions is personnel. Most Lions starters would only be backups on another team. One running back isn't going to change anything. I think that's a little harsh, to be quite honest with you. I think there's a lot of good players on this team that they're trying to build up to depth. But I mean, to say that most Lions starters will only be backups is simply not fair. You guys are being SOL fans. The defense isn't nearly as bad as you guys think. Patricia takes away the opposing team's biggest threat. The offense has done this for 7 games now and will be fine. Outside of the Minnesota game, this team has players and the model is sustainable.
Well, I understand his point, but look, and I'm not using an excuse. I'm not using the excuse because every team goes through this, obviously. But when, Kerryon Johnson, arguably, even though he wasn't great, your best running back, he gets hurt, then you're seeing guys get down in the secondary. I mean, this is where this kind of stuff accumulates.
Going into the game, now we'll see what the stats are coming out of the game. The Lions were 31st in yardage allowed, 30th in pass yards allowed, 28th in rush yards allowed, and 26th in points allowed. Those are the facts. And I don't know how you can argue against that and say the defense isn't nearly as bad as you guys think. Patricia and the defense were able to somewhat neutralize Saquon Barkley. Although credit Shermer and the offense for turning him into a pass-catching threat when he wasn't running the ball very effectively.
Correct.
Saquon Barkley was still the biggest offensive threat for the Giants yesterday, and he had a very good game.
Yeah.
He just didn't have a big, huge game running.
Right. The Lions did a decent job, a pretty good job of, stopping the run. 3.3 yards a carry is good defense.
Right. But the week before, they played the Vikings.
Oh, I know.
Who's their biggest threat? Dalvin Cook had a huge game,
yeah.
And Kirk Cousins had a huge game. The week before against the Packers. I don't know who do you.
Well, they did a good job against Jones.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. That was just Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers and Zebras.
All right, 7:13. Heather, you got news coming up next?
I sure do, and people may want to finally stop doing really over-the-top gender reveals after they hear what happened at one couple's reveal, and it went terribly terribly, terribly wrong.
Terribly
Yeah.
wrong. Here's what goes terribly right. Your mortgage, when you call David Hall at Hall Financial, 248-308-5000 is the number to call for David Hall. If you've been thinking about purchasing a new home or refinancing your mortgage, call David today at 248-308-5000 or go to the website davidhallmortgage.com. At Hall Financial, you are a name. You are not a number. You are a person. They specialize in great customer service. In fact, they have over 850 five-star reviews, and that number continues to grow and grow and grow because, quite simply, David Hall put together a smaller mortgage company to ensure that his clients got the best service out there, and that's exactly what's happening. If you're thinking about doing some home improvements and want to know the best ways to finance those, David Hall can help you with that as well. When it comes to your mortgage, David has all the answers. David Hall has been a Michigander his whole life. He knows Michigan, he knows mortgages, and he knows what Michigan customers are looking for. So call him today, 248-308-5000. That's 248-308-5000. Or on the web, davidhallmortgage.com. Call today.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Big Beat Coffee around the Ann Arbor area. Look out for a ramp closure due to an accident. US 23 northbound the ramp to 94. Also 75 southbound just after 14 Mile Road. There's an accident within the construction zone blocking the right lane and shoulder. Another accident off to the right shoulder 96 eastbound after Pleasant Valley Road. Rise and shine. Your Monday morning coffee needs you. Head into your locally owned and operated Big Beat Coffee for $1 coffee Mondays. Any size hot brewed coffee just $1. Start your Monday off the right way with the $1 coffee on Monday at participating Southeast Michigan Big Beat Coffee locations. I'm Michelle Pena, the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
You've got a question? We've got an opinion. Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in 10 minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started with Indeed.com/hire.
If you're getting ready to upgrade your vehicle to a safer, newer car, truck, or SUV, then Taylor Chevrolet is the dealer who can help. Taylor will maximize your savings by making sure you get all of the available incentives and rebates. The 19 Chevy Silverado Full Cab 4x4 is only $125 a month through the end of October. 24-month, 20,000-mile lease with zero down. Visit TaylorChevy.com for full details and apply for instant credit. On Telegraph Road, north of Eureka. We say yes. MGM Grand Detroit is giving away the green this October, which means you could win up to $5,000 in cash. Starting on October 1st, all M Life Rewards members can swipe once a day for entries. Then join us on October 31st for the grand prize drawing to see if you're one of the lucky winners. Giving away the green is really that easy to enter, and it's only at MGM Grand Detroit. Visit the M Life Rewards desk for details. Must be 21 or older. Grand times ahead.
Is your business still settling for slow internet? Well, time is money. Switch to Comcast Business now and get a great deal on fast, reliable internet. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, installation when it works for you, and 24/7 customer support. It's time to take your business beyond. Right now, get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Plus, we offer solutions like powerful Wi-Fi that thinks about what customers want, and automatic internet backup that can keep your business running. So what are you waiting for? Get the internet your business really needs. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Starting route to West 13 Mile Road.
2-year agreement required. Early termination period. Backup limited to 8 hours.
The Mother Bottles mission has been helping the poorest of the poor for over 50 years. By donating your car,
In half a mile,
you can help
turn
Mother
left
Bottles
onto Lone Pine
continue
Road.
to help those in need. Mother Bottles will use your generous car donation to help a low-income family with transportation. Just think what a difference your car donation will mean to a needy family who has no car. Your car donation will truly change their life. So avoid the hassle of trying to sell your car and donate it to Mother Bottles. Plus, Mother Bottles takes any car, running or non-running. And remember, when you donate your car to Mother Bottles, you are helping Mother Bottles to feed a hungry person and provide shelter to those in need.
Turn left
to change a life like that. And call Mother Waddles at 313-WADDLES or simply donate your car online at motherwaddles.org. Mother Waddles, a name you can trust. Call 313-WADDLES. That's 313-WADDLES.
So guys, how many of you are guilty of using your wife or your girlfriend's shampoo in the shower? Quite a few, I imagine. Have you considered the importance of using a product designed for your hair? Yes, men's hair. After all, your hair is different. Dove Men Plus Care has created a hair care range designed to provide men's hair and give it the care it needs to stay strong and healthy. Do your family and your hair a favor and get your own products. Dove Men Plus Care for stronger, more resilient hair. Available at Walmart. Tomorrow, starting at 3:30, 97.1 The Ticket Street Team and Ticket Checks will be at Little Caesars Arena before the Red Wings host the St. Louis Blues. Brought to you by Michigan Lottery's Lucky Doubler $2 Instant Game. There's fun in every one. Red Wings tickets and info at DetroitRedWings.com.
Got something to add? Text 97.1 The Ticket now at 97136. Ticket Text brought to you by LaFontaine Toyota, home of the family deal. Find over 5,000 new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs daily at FamilyDeal.com. The Detroit Pistons host the Indiana Pacers. Pre-game tonight at 6:35 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Amongst the other sporting events yesterday, the World Series is definitely in Houston's favor now after losing the first two games at home. Astros go to D.C., win all three, and they win last night by a final score of, what was it, 7-1?
Yeah, I guess the Nats weren't the only boobs in Washington last night, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a picture you can probably find at Barstool or some places where two lovely ladies wearing yellow T-shirts, 2 rows behind the plate, lifted them up. So you got boob exposure on national television last night.
Congratulations.
Yes.
It was during the 7th inning, I guess. Garrett Cole was pitching, and did he step off?
Yeah, looks like he did.
He stepped off. He was distracted by what was happening behind home plate. They were summarily thrown out of the stadium.
Yeah.
How dare
Do
they?
you think they went there with that purpose?
Yes.
I do, Heather. I do, based on the lack of undergarments and
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't
matching
seen it yet.
shirts. So, great seats. Great seats. Anyway, so
fabulous.
game 6 will be tomorrow night in Houston as the Astros look for their second championship in the last 3 seasons. Also last night, Wings lose at home to the Blues 5-4 in overtime.
Been 8 in a row.
I don't know.
I think it's 8 losses in a row. At least they got a point.
And the Pistons play the Pacers tonight at 7. You can hear that game right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Heather's busily
I
looking.
am. Well, one girl didn't really commit fully. I mean,
You
she
don't think
did,
so? Yeah.
but the one woman has her shirt up like the whole time she started. The
Yeah.
other one did it quickly and then put her shirt back down. Like she was like, should I do this? Shouldn't I? And then she did it again. But
Yeah.
that.
Hey, listen, baseball is trying to
commit if you're gonna
bring
do it.
fans back. Bring eyeballs back. Yes, would definitely go
Yeah.
in that direction.
There she goes.
There she goes.
That's great. You guys, after years of searching, the U.S. military finally tracked down and took out the
El
leader
Chapo?
of ISIS. No,
Oh.
of ISIS over the weekend. President Trump actually made the announcement in a press conference yesterday morning.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world. He died after running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. He was a sick and depraved man, and now he's gone.
All right.
There you go.
So the president tweeted on Saturday, something big just happened.
I saw that. Actually, I didn't see it. I heard about it on SNL.
Yeah, and it was a little odd, and some people were saying that's a little disconcerting when the leader of the free world tweets that out.
It
'cause-
doesn't give you any other
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, something very big has just happened.
Yes.
And announced it, obviously, yesterday morning.
Yep.
So, yeah.
What's weird is he said he was there, watching it on, it looked like a movie. It was
Right.
so good. But the Washington Post or somebody found actually, when the actual raid went down, he was actually golfing.
Oh, well, maybe
He
he
then
watched it
showed
on
up
his
later.
camera.
Yeah.
On his phone. You can watch things on your phone.
That's true.
So maybe he had a special secure feed.
Yeah.
So a
Good. I'm
manhunt.
glad they got it done under his leadership. That's
A manhunt was launched on Sunday for a gunman who actually opened fire at this really crowded college party in Texas, where he killed 2 and injured more than a dozen others. Authorities
say that there was about 750 people at this off-campus venue. They were celebrating Halloween and homecoming for Texas A&M Commerce when authorities believe one gunman showed up and just started firing. They do say they believe he was targeting one specific person and then continued to fire while he was there. They're still obviously looking for this gunman. They don't know who he is. They're hoping with how many people were there, somebody got a decent look at him.
Unless he was wearing a Halloween costume.
Right. There were several people there in Halloween costume. And then they're reporting that there was actually a vigil for one of the victims, and there was more gunfire there as well. Nobody was hurt, but somebody might have drove by.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so hopefully they can find this person. That authorities say that this person isn't posing any other danger.
They don't think.
They don't think, but then there's gunfire. I mean, that's danger to anyone.
I was going to say, if you kill 2 people and injure 12, you're still a danger.
Yeah.
I would have to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, former congressman and civil rights icon John Conyers passed away in his home yesterday. He was 90 years old, and he had served 53 years in office, which made him the longest-serving African-American in congressional history.
I had got to admit, I had kind of forgotten about Congressman Conyers, and so when I saw the e-blurb that he had passed away yesterday, my first instinct was, I guess much like Governor Milliken last week, I thought John Conyers had already passed away for some reason, so...
Just because he hadn't been in the news at all,
Yeah.
I hadn't heard much about him.
No,
Right.
and really, why would you? After he left office,
Right.
He obviously led a private life for the last couple of years since he left office, but certainly a long, distinguished career, which ended... I don't know, would you say it ended in shame? I don't know. It didn't end as particularly well.
No, as one would hope after
Yeah.
serving that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, you guys, couple's gender reveal, I mean, went terribly wrong. Probably as wrong as a gender reveal can go.
Is this the one with the black balloon that went over the fence and the dorky dad tried to jump over?
That was humorous. That was funny.
Oh,
I
this
think
isn't
the dad
humorous
is
or
okay.
funny?
No, this isn't humorous or funny. A woman was actually killed while she was attending this gender reveal party in Iowa. This woman was 56 years old, and they say that she was killed after an explosion, which I'm guessing is part of the reveal, caused debris to go flying in the air, and she was hit by some of this debris, and she died right there on the scene.
Oh my God.
Was the debris pink or blue?
You know what? After all of this story, we don't know if it was
that much, James.
Right, we don't know.
We don't know yet. We don't know a whole lot of information, what kind of explosion it was, what caused the explosion, or the identity of this woman. But, come on, people.
Safety first.
How about you just open an envelope?
How about you just maybe slice into a cake?
How about you don't have
Sure.
her?
Well, I agree with that. I mean, this is, I don't know what year the first gender reveal was, but I can virtually guarantee you it happened well after my 3rd child. I'd never
Oh,
heard of
for
it.
sure. And it started with the cake.
But it
where
was like
people
within
cut
the
into
last
cake
few
and it's
years,
pink or
right?
blue.
5 or 6 years?
Well, I think too with social media, it's changed a lot as well because people want to do things that are very extravagant. Then celebrities do them. They post video on
That's
their
right.
social media, and everyone wants to copy it.
It's like promposals.
Yes.
They're like something, about 10, 15 years old. There's a lot of these.
So what's...
I mean, have you ever seen people who make proposals when they get engaged? They hire photographers to
yes.
hang out and, do videos.
For sure.
Surprise and all that. I mean, it's whatever.
It's social media.
So what exploded? Did it say in
No,
here?
it didn't give any details. There's obviously an investigation underway to see exactly what happened. But they say the explosion was part of the reveal.
Okay. I mean, next is going to be like skeet shooting, where they put, I'm sure they've done it, where they throw a disc up in the air, and they shoot it, and whatever explodes color into, and then someone will get shot because the skeet shooter will have like poor aim or something like that.
They just chugged a bottle of champagne or something as well.
Yeah.
So there's always alcohol involved.
Yes.
All right, you guys, a Southwest flight attendant is actually suing the airline after she claims 2 pilots were live streaming video in the cockpit from a hidden camera in the plane's bathroom.
Yes.
So this actually happened. happened several years ago. It happened in 2017. And this flight attendant says that she was called to the cockpit because one of the pilots had to go use the restroom, and they have to have so many people in the cockpit at all times.
Okay.
So she was in there, and that's when she says she saw an iPad streaming the pilot that had just left in the bathroom. So she could see him in there, and she asked the other pilot, like, what the heck is this? And he basically said that it was new security and top secret security for this specific airline or this specific plane. And he told her, hey, you know, because it's so top secret, don't tell anyone. Let's keep this, just between us.
Yeah.
And obviously she didn't keep it just between her. She did say that she took a picture of the iPad, but we haven't seen that photo. And Southwest is denying this. Obviously, they're saying this is not, the pilots didn't do this, they were not invading anyone's privacy.
So they're claiming that this flight attendant is making everything up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why would she be making all this up?
Well,
was she fired or
for
something
money?
like that?
No. She said she is suing for $50,000 in damages. Her and her husband, who's also a flight attendant, are suing.
Yeah.
They're suing together. But they're suing for invasion of privacy, sexual harassment. She said she suffered from emotional distress and then retaliation. Apparently, because she was making all these claims against the airline, they were making all these flight attendants undergo multiple drug tests and screenings that were not necessarily necessary.
Okay. I mean, let's just say for the sake of argument that it's true that these guys were spying on people in the bathroom. What do you possibly get out of that?
That's exactly what I was thinking, because an airline bathroom is the least, sexy place that somebody could want to see footage of. There's
nothing to see. You're watching people pull down their pants, go to the bathroom,
in a
stand up.
very awkward way, and there's no room in there to do anything.
Yeah.
They're not getting much of anything.
They must have a weird,
fetish.
Yes, they must get off on certain things that the average person does not. All right, 7:30 on 97.1 The Ticket. Coming up next, signature win time for Jimmy Harbaugh. Is it or isn't it? We'll discuss next. 97.1.
If your furnace sounds like a screeching pterodactyl, or keys tumbling in a dryer, don't hesitate. Call the experts at Flame Heating and Cooling. Go online now to flamefurnace.com or call 888-234-2340.
This is Rich Lalonde from Lalonde Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Is bad credit holding you back from driving the new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram you really want?
Not anymore. The all-new Lalonde Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Inlay City, Michigan can get you approved.
It's Credit Amnesty Week at Lalonde Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And during Credit Amnesty Week, everybody rides, regardless of credit score. That's right. If you've got $500 and you make at least $2,000 a month, Lalonde's lenient lenders can get you approved for beautiful new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram. Worried about your trade-in? Don't. We need used cars more than ever, so we'll flat out give you more.
So, if you want a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram, but your credit's not so good,
come see me, Rich.
And me, Tanya.
Tonight, during Credit Amnesty Week at the all-new Lalonde Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on M53 in beautiful Inlay City, Michigan.
Call 810-724-0444 or click LaLondeChrysler.com.
Jeep Ram. Nope, nuh-uh. We're not doing that yet. There's still plenty of fall left to enjoy. In fact, here in Ontario, Canada, it's one of the best times of the year. Colorful leaves everywhere you look, great fall festivals, glamping under the stars, that's glamorous camping. Incredible foodie flavors and wine excursions that are perfect for a weekend getaway. We've got the best fall has to offer, but don't take too long, because pretty soon... Okay, enough. Plan your fall weekend in Ontario at fallinontario.com.
Discount travel sites say they have the best prices, but Hilton.com has the price match guarantee. Look me in the eye. If you find a better rate, they match it and take 25% off. Yeah, well, this is radio, so just stare at the radio. Hilton.com has the best prices. Pinky swear. Or, radio swear. Plus, you can choose your exact room and get free Wi-Fi. Crossroad right Avenue. My radio. Expect better. Expect Hilton.
Must be a Hilton Honors member. Applicable terms and conditions at Hilton.com. Pinky swear.
How do smart, hard-working roofing contractors keep jobs running smoothly? They save time with Beacon. The Beacon Pro Plus app features online ordering, automated rebate tracking, and online bill pay. Choose products like high-quality CertainTeed shingles and accessories. Easily find the style, color, and quantity, and let the app do the ordering for you. With Beacon Pro Plus, order 24/7 from anywhere. You work hard, now work smarter. Download the free app at beaconproplus.com.
Now that Human Resources Director Fernando Pino has Kronos for HR, payroll, talent, and time.
Turn right onto Woodward Avenue.
Crushing it. He even has his own hype song.
Supporting our entire workforce. Everyone has different hours, skill sets, and pay grades. Motivating and engaging our people every step of the way.
Kronos, HR solutions for the modern workforce and the people who support them. Learn more at kronos.com/HR swagger.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Capura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to ndphealth.com.
The Detroit Red Wings host the Edmonton Oilers. Pre-game tomorrow night at 7:10 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Second down and 5. Ball at the 7-yard line of Notre Dame. They show blitz. They give it to Charbonnet. Charbonnet brings it back inside. Yeah, breaks a tackle at the 3. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
In 4.1 miles, make a U-turn at N1.
Jim Brandstatter and I believe that was Dan Deerdorf in the background on 97.1 The Ticket on Saturday night as Michigan, in the words of our friend Matt Shepard, opened up a can on Notre Dame, winning 45-14, dancing between the raindrops at Michigan Stadium, and the Wolverines get their biggest win in quite a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't think of a more significant win that they've had.
probably bigger than when they beat Wisconsin against last year, right?
I think so.
Yeah. For
I
a
think
lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons, exactly. Not just the ranking, but more just for what was thought of this team, what was predicted about the team, and you could take a lot of factors into it. It was a very impressive night all the way around. A lot of adversity facing this team, a lot of doubters, and basically all day long watching a lot of the coverage on game day and everything. It's like Michigan needs this game, but more than that, Jim Harbaugh needs this game. And it was interesting watching the game unfold, and in the second half, as it really got out of hand, to hear kind of Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit sum it up on ABC, and Herbstreit said flat out, Notre Dame didn't show up.
I know.
And he was very critical of Notre Dame, and that's fine, and you can be critical of Notre Dame and still be praiseworthy of Michigan.
He was, too.
Oh no, I totally agree that he was. But I'm saying it's okay to say that Notre Dame didn't show up and yet still have it be an overall really impressive game.
I think not showing up is a little strong. I think they showed up and just had their soul and the will just knocked out. And they didn't show up for the second half, basically, is the way I look at it. I mean, they were just getting dominated at the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Right.
And that's something that Michigan has not been able to do all season, really.
Right.
And you thought Notre Dame would be able to really, especially offensively. I know their offensive line isn't vintage what it was 2 years ago, but it's still pretty damn good.
Right.
Defense has always been a little shady. And you figure the weather conditions, going to help Michigan to look completely out of his game, I think. But, I mean, look, they just beat the crap out of him. It was incredible.
So I was watching, there was a long gap between the end of the Michigan State game and the start of the Michigan game, and the weather was a huge story. And I'm not saying it's the reason why Michigan won or anything. Did it play a factor in the game? It almost had to.
Yeah, especially when Notre Dame's a better passing team.
Right. But as they were showing the players warming up in the driving rain, and all the Michigan players were wearing these, like, I don't know what they wore, some sort of a hoodie it was like they had rain jackets. They had special pregame rain jackets or something. I don't know, but whatever. And I was thinking, God, I am a mental midget, because I would have such a hard time coming out in these conditions and dealing with it. Just the mental, like when you're really cold, all you're thinking about is, God, I'm cold.
Right. It's like I hate playing golf when it's cold.
Yeah, because your hands hurt and everything. And I would just, if I were a football player playing in that, now I'm sure there's some who just thought it was fantastic, loved it,
Yeah.
the elements. But, the fact that they weren't playing in mud, they were playing on an artificial surface. And so instead of getting mud all over themselves, they get wet black pellets all over themselves. Yeah, Ian Book had to actually squirt off his face. I just have to think that there's a certain mental hurdle you have to overcome. And credit to Michigan for doing a better job of it than Notre Dame did. Because I have a feeling, no one would ever admit it. No self-effacing Notre Dame fan or player ever could. But I would walk out of there and go, God, that sucks. I mean, I felt like we're up against it from the start.
Yeah, but I mean, for Notre Dame, you can't even think that way. Based on the schedule, with all due respect to Stanford and I think Boston, whatever, this was their last chance to show something, whether they could be considered playoff worthy or not.
Mm-hmm.
So rain, snow, whatever, they had to go and play a good football game, and they got the snot beat out of them.
Yeah.
And that should be more demoralizing to Notre Dame fans than anything.
So then the question becomes, not just is this Jim Harbaugh's signature victory, which I think we all agree that it is, but it's also, is this the start of something for Michigan? Did this start in the Penn State game and grow into what we saw on Saturday night? And is it possible that this thing can keep growing? I think there's no doubt, obviously, in my mind, that they beat Maryland on Saturday. I think they will take care of Michigan State the way that thing's going. And then, obviously, the big hurdle is the end of the regular season, which we can get to.
But Indiana,
Don't sleep on Indiana. They're bowl eligible. But I was talking to Dan Miller yesterday, and he made this point that for all of his bizarre rantings and ravings, Lee Corso did say over and over again on game day on Saturday, something started in the second half of Penn State. It really did, and I don't think you can deny that.
No, they did. Well, because they finally got a really good performance by the quarterback, and that kind of helped generate, start up everything.
But their defense as well. I mean, they got down big against Penn State, and it would have been very easy for them to pull a Notre Dame and just turtle and say, okay, well, we can't come back.
Right.
And they came back, and they were a dropped touchdown pass away from sending that thing to overtime. And rather than let that be a devastating defeat, it's almost like it inspired them. I mean, I don't know what the message was from Jim Harbaugh to his team during the week, but it sure seemed like that's who we are. That's who we can be. Penn State's really good, and we went in there, and after the first onslaught, we played toe-to-toe with them, and we really could have beat them. So let's just keep that going, and that's exactly what they did against Notre Dame. If I'm a Michigan fan, I'm terribly encouraged right now.
Yeah, cliche-wise, it's what he said last week, and he's been saying all season, basically, week to week, one game season, and that's what you, especially at this point, I mean, unless something absolutely bizarre happens, they obviously can't go to Indy.
No.
So you just try to finish out, and hopefully 10-2, beat Ohio State, and pretty good season.
It's a damn good season.
I know.
Considering what they thought, especially if this offense under Josh Gaddis finds itself.
Yeah.
And then in the last 2 weeks now, they put up a very nice passing game against Penn State. And a rush effort. I mean, they had 437 yards against the vaunted Notre Dame defense, 300 plus on the ground.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame's streak of allowing teams under 30 points obviously got shattered when Michigan rolled to 45. So, I mean, look, I know that the goal here was winning the Big Ten. That's not going to happen. Get to Indy. Not going to happen. So many of the goals that were there for this team, which were not necessarily made by Harbaugh, but were certainly endorsed by Harbaugh at the Big Ten meetings,
right,
those are gone. So you can't do that. So then what do? You try to win as many games you possibly can, get to a New Year's Six bowl, which I'm pretty sure they will. If they win out.
They win out, they might be, they should be able to get one.
With 2 losses, including
Turn right
wins over
onto
Ohio
West
State.
Lake Mile Road.
You're going to put Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan in New Year's Six bowls? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not. But it would seem possible given if that's all out there. I don't want to overreact to 1.5 games, which I know is going to be the counter, but we're finally seeing a dominant effort on the offense by Michigan to go along with a defense which is playing at an incredibly high level.
What we're going to have to see is when teams decide to stack the line, play 8 in the box to stop the running game, whether Patterson is able to come through with his bevy of receivers and just make this offense completely two-dimensional. compared to the one you mentioned. Because it's still based. I mean, yes, they still pass the ball a little bit, but it hasn't been as great as we thought. So right now, it's run first.
No, I know, but I thought the story.
Starting route 4601 Ashbrook Place.
He was better, yeah.
Head northwest on Woodward Avenue.
Right. Well, I mean,
Then
the
turn right
conditions
onto
of
West
Saturday
13
night made
Mile
it
Road.
hard for him to throw the ball. Correct.
6 miles.
Yeah, he still
Turn
did
left
at
onto Rocky
times when
Road.
he needed to, but they ran the ball in a dominant fashion against a really good defense.
If you want to look, what does this mean? Down the road, how the season plays out. You want to play hypothetical for a second. That's hypothetical. Let's say they do beat Michigan State and lose to Ohio State. So, the whole rival talk. So he'd be 1-1 against Notre Dame, 3-2 against Michigan State. You want to count Penn State in the mix because they're good. 3-2 against Penn State and 0-5 against Ohio State. So he's held his own against everybody but Ohio State.
Right.
So, I mean, is that horrible? Yes. Not horrible, but you got to beat Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, no, everything we're saying, but I guess what I'm saying here this morning, Stoney, is I think they could beat Ohio State, where I would not have said that on Friday. What they showed me on Saturday is that I think they'd have a chance. I don't think they will.
No.
Because Ohio State just absolutely obliterated Wisconsin.
Right.
And Wisconsin's obviously reeling, and looking ahead, that maybe cost them against Illinois. But Ohio State looks like a great team. But every great team is tested.
Yes.
Every great team is tested. Ohio State just hasn't been tested yet.
I know.
And so maybe it'll come against Michigan. Who knows?
Wait to see how they'll face adversity because you're right, they haven't.
But Michigan's defense we already knew was really good. It's just they didn't have the offense. And on Saturday night, starting the previous Saturday night, as a ticket texter right here says, the last 6 quarters for Michigan were their best 6 quarters in a very long time.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
All right, 248-539-9797. We'll take your phone calls and your texts coming up next. If you are a Michigan fan, what do you think? Are you encouraged, or is this just one football game and they have to validate it coming up in the next few weeks? 97-1 the ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Polka Restaurant and Beer Cafe. Around the Ann Arbor area, there is still a ramp closure. US 23 northbound to 94 shut down due to an accident with backups now from East Willis Road. 75 northbound at Dearborn Street, a wreck is on the left shoulder. There's a wreck on the left shoulder, Lodge southbound at the Davison, and a crash working 94 westbound at Telegraph.
Chef Edwarski here from Polka Restaurant and Beer Cafe, right next door to Polish Market, and what locals call Little Warsaw. Enjoy the European foods like Mom and Grandma made. Visit GoPolka.com.
I'm Michelle Pena on the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
The Detroit Pistons play the Toronto Raptors. Pre-game Wednesday night at 7:05 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Power is a great deal during Ram Power Days. But when that deal is on the all-new Ram 1500, with available features like a 12-inch touchscreen, the largest of any light-duty truck, a bed with sides that double as Ram box storage, a tailgate capable of a 60-40 split, and a legendary Hemi V8 with hybrid technology. Well, not only is that a powerful deal, that's the power to innovate. The all-new Ram 1500. Hurry into Ram Power Days for great deals. Well-qualified returning FCI employee lessees can lease the 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 with a V6 engine for $189 a month for 24 months with $2,988 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution or lease through Ally. Lessee is responsible for termination fees. Current lease must end by 11/2/20. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery from dealer stock by 10/31.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. The NFL's only remaining unbeaten teams, New England and San Francisco, headline yesterday's biggest winners. The Patriots registered turnovers on 3 consecutive Cleveland snaps in the first quarter, while the 49ers tallied 51 points for the first time since 1993. Tevin Coleman had 4 touchdowns, and how about Nick Bosa? He had 3 more sacks and a pick. 46-year-old Adam Vinatieri blasted a game-winning 51-yard field goal, while Ryan Tannehill is 2 for 2 as a starter for Tennessee. Maybe all he had to do to jumpstart his career was get away from Adam Gase. With a victory over his former team, the Bengals, Rams offensive tackle Andrew Whitworth became the 12th player to have beaten all 32 NFL teams. Drew Brees made a triumphant return in New Orleans, and although Deshaun Watson's heroic saved the day for Houston, the Texans unfortunately lost J.J. Watt for the season. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Head clogged with sinus pressure, congestion, and a stuffy nose? The worst. But you can get fast relief from Vicks works in seconds and lasts for 12 hours. 12 hours. So breathe freely, fast with Vicks Sidex. Use as directed.
Do you love football? Do you live for Monday nights? Then you better get with the program and get down to Hooters every week to catch the game and play Monday Night Moneyball. You're just a few questions away from a chance at cash prizes and Hooters freebies. You love wings, you love ice-cold beer, and who doesn't love the world-famous Hooters girls? Head to Hooters to cheer, eat, and go for all the bread when you play Hooters Monday Night Moneyball. Check out HootersMoneyball.com to learn more right now.
Head clogged with sinus pressure, congestion, and a stuffy nose? The worst. But you can get fast relief from Vicks Sinex nasal spray. It works in seconds and lasts for 12 hours. 12 hours. So breathe freely, fast with Vicks Sinex. Use as directed.
CMC Productions presents the first ever Fight for Freedom, Friday, November 1st, 6 till 10 p.m. Local and national boxers battle at the new ASAP Express and Logistics Headquarters in Romulus. Fight for Freedom. Proceeds benefit Hope Against Human Trafficking. Go to hopeagainsttrafficking.org for more info. Get tickets in advance at thefightforfreedom.eventbrite.com or at the door. Fight for Freedom, Friday, November 1st, 6 till 10 at ASAP Express off Middlebelt, just south of I-94 in Romulus, Building 16.
Brighton's newest dining and nightlife experience is Single Barrel Social. The team at Single Barrel Social is now crafting a unique and innovative experience that will stimulate the spirit in a unique social setting. Coming soon, special advanced opportunities to purchase tickets for national country artists coming to Single Barrel Social. Learn more about these fall concerts coming soon to Single Barrel Social at singlebarrelsocial.com. They can't wait for you to share in their passion for all things eat, drink, and dance.
So, after 20 years at the same job, you finally did it. You started over with a new career in a new city. Good for you. Life is full of changes. Good thing there's a full-service bank to help you make the most of each. From direct deposit to mobile bill pay, at Comerica, every account comes with the tools, knowledge, and one-on-one support you need every step of the way. That's full-service banking only at Comerica Bank. Raising expectations since 1849. Learn more at Comerica.com. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. Jamie and Stoney are giving away a pair of Red Wings tickets for every home game. Listen each week to Jamie and Stoney for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see your Detroit Red Wings. For tickets to all Detroit Red Wings home games, go to DetroitRedWings.com. The station where you call the shots. Most of the time.
First down, 16-yard line from the Michigan Wolverines. Back to throw. Pump fake. Collins in the end zone. Collins makes the catch. Yeah, baby. Michigan. 16-yard strike. Man coverage. Well, Nico Collins beats Dante Vaughn, and a Wolverine lead grows.
That was Jim Brandstatter and I believe Dan Deerdorf on Saturday night.
Yeah, baby.
Michigan beat Notre Dame 45-14. 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136.
Well, the Irish can get their revenge in 14 years.
Yeah, what is with that?
I mean, what's with Michigan canceling the UCLA series for East Carolina? Why?
I mean, can't you just make a deal to start like in 4 years? Why does it have to be 14 or whatever? Just play. Play. Ticket text. It was not a signature win for Harbaugh. Notre Dame was overrated. Only good team they played was Georgia. It was a good win, but not the signature win that Harbaugh needs.
Well, hold on. They were underdogs against a ranked team. Now, granted, it wasn't a road underdog.
Oh, okay.
See, but if it was determined it was a big game, and everybody kind of determined it was a big game before the game kicked off, now it's not.
Correct. Correct. That's exactly right.
It's a very good win.
It's like you get a date with like a 10, and then you go out and you're like, oh, not a 10, more like a 6.
Okay, so they got a top 10 win. I don't disagree with anything you've said, but I just had a tough time feeling good about anything after Saturday, and I think it's
oh, come on.
I think it's the big picture, because look, they cannot accomplish one single goal this year unless they beat Ohio State. Went out and beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And then they only accomplished one real goal.
Beating Ohio State.
I mean, if they don't win that game, they're 2-3 in the Big 5 games, and you lose Ohio State again. You have another 3-loss season, and you don't know who your quarterback is next year.
You've got two pretty good guys contending for it. But you got a good sense of, well, you do know who your quarterback is. You just don't know which of the two guys it is.
Yeah, and again, I would love to see them play a ton in these next couple games.
Okay, maybe they will. They
at Maryland,
you probably didn't think they'd play on Saturday night against Notre Dame. They both did.
But they didn't play until it was. I mean, it was.
That's what football works.
I know. I guess I just.
Here's my.
When is this thing going to move forward? I thought it moved forward.
I think it has the last 6 quarters.
Look, you're right.
But he's not part of the long-term solution.
Who's
Patterson?
It's college football. I mean,
Kelly Bryant should still be Clemson's quarterback.
Well, do you think that Jonathan Taylor should stop playing for Wisconsin?
No.
Why? All their goals are gone.
No, they're not. They can still win the Big Ten West.
Well, Minnesota's undefeated, and they have 2 Big Ten losses, so it's going to be tough.
They will, but it's realistic.
Well,
Michigan's isn't realistic.
Right, but Minnesota can lose the
Penn State has to lose 3 games.
But this is how college football works. You play your best players until they graduate. I mean, I guess, I don't know what sort of like this isn't like September for the Tigers where you call up the kids from Toledo and you let them play.
Okay, let's just boil this down. If they lose to Ohio State and go 9-3, is it a successful season?
No.
And that's, I guess, that's why I have a tough time feeling good about thumping. No, I need the proof that Saturday night mattered and the second half mattered in Penn State. The proof is beating Ohio State.
Okay, that's fine. So then, in that sense,
you're willing to give them credit now. I'm not.
Fine. Then let's talk about the Lions. Well, no, I mean, what's the point of playing these games?
Right, I know it's getting to the point now with sports. You're either a great team or you suck.
Well, no,
there's nothing in between.
Or the moment you lose a game, or in this case for Michigan, 2 games. Fast forward to Ohio State, and if they don't win that one, then it's a failure. I mean, they still played Notre Dame in a nationally televised game on Saturday, which was watched by probably millions of people across the country. Notre Dame remains. I mean, I turned on my TV Saturday morning, and on the ESPN's doing all these America's Game 150 for 150 years.
Pretty cool too.
They are, except Saturday's edition, which was all about Notre Dame.
Oh.
They're like, you can't talk about the history of college football without talking about Notre Dame. Like, okay,
I saw that earlier in the week.
Last week, for an hour. They made an hour on Notre Dame. Come on. I mean, that's a little much. But anyway, still Notre Dame. Michigan beat their asses. And now you're sitting here saying, whatever.
I have a tough time.
That's fine. You can have a tough time. But do you understand the frustration of us? It's like, then why even talk about it?
I guess I'm not going to
cancel the Harbaugh interview for today.
No.
Why not?
I have a tough time not thinking that this is just Wisconsin all over again last year.
Okay.
That's just a kind of a gut feeling. Wisconsin against Ohio State, what opened that game up was how they beat Michigan last year with the crossing routes. Ohio State sits there every game and they kind of have a blah first quarter and they figure out what you're doing and then they just absolutely assault you. And I have no reason to believe that they're not going to come into Ann Arbor and do that again.
They're going to try, but if you go out, even on the broadcast yesterday, they were talking about how they adjusted the defense where they trying to take the crossing routes out.
I will give Don Brown credit. They definitely are not just sticking with their usual DNA.
You know what's funny?
I think this is all about getting them ready and proving it once and for all that you can take them down.
Ohio State?
Yes, it is.
You know what's funny is that we started this show talking about the Lions. And my general takeaway from the Lions game was, I don't think this is sustainable. And you said to me, you're like, I'm really surprised to hear you say that coming out of the game yesterday. And so now I feel like the roles are reversed.
I have more hope in the Detroit Lions than I do in Michigan right now.
You see, you said it's a gut feeling. My gut feeling about Michigan is much more positive. Penn State game, which is why it was so funny we were talking about. It's like, if you want to look at it as a loss, yeah, it's a loss. I mean, it's a failure. You go there to win the game. But I thought a lot of positives came out of that loss. And I thought those were on full display on Saturday night, which makes me feel even better about them going forward.
I feel much better after watching Saturday. The Penn State thing, it was cool that they played better and all that, but sometimes I'm not sure how that carries over. Well, we saw that it carried over. But after the Penn State game, it wasn't going crazy, But yesterday or Saturday, they just beat them. They beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You need to put the eye patch on your mouth.
Well, apparently now they got to beat Ohio State. I mean, for some people, and that's fine.
The Michigan State game is not going to be easy. I don't care how bad Michigan State is. It's not going to be an easy game.
What we are setting up to see here is basically, and go back nearly 25 years, Ohio State, the situation was Ohio State had the better teams. Michigan beat them.
Right.
And you have a chance to do that again. The 95 and 96 games where Michigan beat them when Ohio State was contending for a national championship. This is your opportunity. You got them in your house. You got the most talented team, I think, across the board. The most even, well, the 2016 team was more talented. But they didn't have, I think, the question is, they got to play down, they had to play down there in 2016. You got them here. This is it, man. You got to, this is how you finally, once and for all, prove that you are moving forward.
I agree with that. But it's okay in the immediate aftermath of a big-time win to talk about that big-time win and what it means.
And I don't think anybody's saying that just because they won means, oh boy, next year they're going to, win the national championship.
I guess I felt that way last year after the Wisconsin game, though, and I feel like I got burned. Because it was a very similar game. Very similar game. Bad weather conditions, a dominant home performance. Shea played good in that game. You thought, oh, boy, here we go, and then boom.
Yeah, that's fair. As a State fan, so happy for Michigan and the possibility that people will jump back on the crappy Harbaugh bandwagon. Another ticket touch. As a Spartan fan, it was a huge win for Jim. Hope U of M keeps him around for years. That's from Ryan. Wow. Michigan State pretty lippy based on what's going on with your program right about now.
By the way, I think we kind of saw old vintage Harbaugh. He was damn fired up.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny because what was the play, Craig, last year in the Northwestern game where Harbaugh called it the worst call in the history of sports? It was a play on Higdon. They called a penalty, I believe, on Higdon for
I think it was like a screen pass or a jump down to Higdon, and the defensive lineman was holding him, or he's picking up a blitz.
And they called him for holding.
Yes.
Well, it may have been trumped by the worst pass interference call in the history of calls. I mean, that was horrific.
But still, it wasn't as bad as that.
Yeah. All right, it's 8 o'clock. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. The ticket text 97136. It's time for a sports update with Tony on 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. The radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by National Benefit Plans. Matthew Stafford connected with Kenny Golladay on a 31-yard touchdown pass early in the fourth quarter. That was the winning score for the Lions as they knocked off the New York Giants 31-26 yesterday at Ford Field. That victory ends a three-game losing skid for Detroit. We're now back at the 500 mark for the season. Some finals from the NFL yesterday. Green Bay beats Kansas City 31-24. The Los Angeles Chargers defeat Chicago 17-16. San Francisco crushes Carolina 51-24. The Philadelphia Eagles fly past Buffalo 31-13. The Houston Astros keep on rolling. They beat the Washington Nationals 7-1 last night in Game 5 of the World Series. After dropping the first two games of the Fall Classic, Garrett Cole and the Astros now lead in that best-of-7 series, 3-2.
We just take the mentality like we took during the regular season. We're just going to kind of put one flag in front of the next. And, you shower off the mistakes and celebrate the amazing plays, celebrate the amazing pitches.
Game 6 of the World Series tomorrow night in Houston. David Perron's goal at the 128 mark of overtime gives the St. Louis Blues a 5-4 victory over the Red Wings last night at Little Caesars Arena. That lost the 8th in a row for the Wings, who now fall into a tie for last place in the NHL's Atlantic Division. The Pistons look to get back to the 500 mark with a victory tonight over the Indiana Pacers at the LCA. Catch the game here on The Ticket starting at 6:35. It was a record-setting Sunday for Tiger Woods as he wins the PGA Tour's Zozo Championship yesterday by 3 shots over Hideki Matsuyama. That victory was the 82nd in the PGA Tour career of Woods, which ties him with Sam Snead for the most career PGA Tour victories. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
Jamie S. Stoney on 97.1 The Ticket.
Stops every year on the PGA Tour is the Zozo Invitational in November. Remember the PGA Tour ending in August?
It doesn't do that anymore. There are 49 events this year on the PGA Tour, which started last month.
Yeah.
The most in a season ever.
2020 PGA
Correct.
season.
Yeah.
As the Tour Championship ended.
Correct. in August.
Regular season.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, congrats to Tiger.
Yeah.
Good player.
It's amazing the things we let bother us. Like the NHL and NBA have 2019, 2020 seasons, and it's like, who cares? Golf tries to do it. It's like,
Maybe this is
I think it's because nobody knew it started.
Turn left onto Avenue Place, then turn left onto Ashford Place.
right?
right.
Because it's when Tiger won the Grand Slam, everybody was like, no, it's not a real Grand Slam. It didn't take place in the same calendar year, so now it doesn't have to. If they're going to have the tour go for
Well,
the
they're still all in the
In a
same
quarter
year.
mile,
I
turn
understand
left
that.
onto Ashford Place.
But if they're going to switch it around, I still haven't gotten a suitable answer as to why the Washington Nationals are WSH, not WAS, in the score box. Huh? Still haven't
Bothers
got
you more.
that bothers me more.
Really? I saw the end of the golf. They were interviewing Tiger, and he's the
Turn left onto Ashford Place, then the destination is on your right.
and he's going to decide whether he's going to play or not.
Right.
And he said, yeah, the player kind of impressed the captain.
Oh God.
Tiger. That's the way it was
600
framed.
The destination is on your right. 4601 Ashford Place.
So that's not third person. Is that fourth person? Have we broken the fourth wall here with that?
Referring to yourself as a title?
Yes.
That's a good
Two
point.
titles, actually.
Yeah.
The player and the captain.
Well,
That's
I wouldn't put him on. The way
The
he plays,
destination
he's
is
so
on your right.
inconsistent. I mean, his back.
4601 Ashford
It's like
Place.
a doctor doing surgery on himself. Doctor
Arrived.
the patient.
I guess.
I don't know.
We're talking about Michigan and the win on Saturday over Notre Dame. Let's go to Chris in Tecumseh. Chris, you're on 97 won the ticket. Hello, Chris.
Hey guys, I'm in lockstep with Tom. We haven't. I mean, this was a big win.